buyer, e-com store owner, and I have successfully sold over $325 million worth of products and services on cold traffic. And in this video, I want to do something a little unique here on LinkedIn and YouTube, is actually do a live copywriting exercise and specifically do an exercise to show you how I write ads that scale on cold traffic. So what I'm looking at right here is, and I just picked the first ad that came up on my Facebook feed because I think Facebook's a good exercise for writing ads. And this is for a product called Terra Cafe. And if you were to click the ad, it takes you to this landing page. I love it's a higher ticket item. I love it has lots of reviews. What this tells me is it's a solid, legit offer. And it's a a brewing device. So as it says, and the details say it's original push button brewing device. The TKO1 removes the headaches of manual espresso by automatically grinding your beans fresh and delivering an unrivaled coffee experience at home. Okay, so here's what the ad says as it stands right now. Okay, it says the internet's fave espresso machine makes the best holiday gift. Seems a little outdated. Unwrap better coffee rituals at home, shipping now. One of the first things I want you to think about when you write an ad and you're going to run on cold traffic, do make the copy on the ad match up with what you have on the landing page as closely as you can. And I want you to think about this concept. Hardly anyone watching this, if anybody, has ever written ads for like radio or TV. What's the difference between writing an ad for radio and TV versus like Facebook, YouTube, Google, email, etc.? Is you do not have the benefit of someone looking at your copy. They have to not only be snapped to attention immediately, you don't even have the benefit of having them hanging on to something to take, the call to action on, unless they literally write something down. Okay. So you really have to hit them very, very hard and fast. You almost have to imagine you're in a boxing match and throwing punches, and you have to hit that person with the first punch to get them to kind of pay attention. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what a successful radio ad actually looks like. Now, I've taken the name of the client and the product out for confidentiality purposes. But what I'm going to show you here is, this is an ad that I wrote. It was actually the very first radio ad I ever wrote. And it was for a product that does water filtration. And it says, hi, and it's whoever the radio host is. And it's so and so. And let me ask you a question. Did you know drinking water out of a tap can make you stupid? Now, this sound, you're probably giggling. I'm giggling. I'm chuckling at this right now. But the reason why I wrote this is because at the time, this was during the Flint, water crisis, and I came across research from reputable sources, university sources, New York Times, even the CDC, excuse me, that talked about how drinking water with excessive amounts of lead can actually zap you of IQ points, actually make you dumber or dumb, depending on your situation. And so that was what I hit people with. Within 20 minutes, 25,000 units were sold out. Now, I had the benefit of having this ad go on a large audience. But here's the point. The person that heard this ad had to recognize what the ad was, pay attention to what it was saying, grab their phone, dial a number, call a call center. That call center then had to close them over the phone, which wasn't really that difficult. The conversion rates were 83%. But it got their attention so vividly and so pointedly that they could not stop listening. Now, in this day and age, it's harder to get people's attention. So what I do when I write cold traffic ads, right hook immediately. Okay, so let's go back. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually rewrite this ad as if this company had hired me to do this for them. And hey, Terra Cafe, if you're watching, I hope you get something valuable out of this. But let's go back to this landing page here. Okay, the the original push button brewing device, the TKO1 removes the headaches of manual espresso by automatically grinding your beans fresh and delivering an unrivaled coffee experience at home. Now, the original push button brewing device, I don't know. I'm not saying these people are being deceitful. I just don't know if that's accurate. And if I'm a customer, I'm going to be a bit skeptical about that. But the part that I think is really interesting is removes the headaches of manual espresso by automatically grinding your beans fresh and delivering an unrivaled coffee experience at home. Okay, let's just think this through. A problem that's seriously giving this thing a look is they don't believe that the espresso that they're getting at home is just has that like coffee house flavor. It doesn't have that like coffee house kind of aroma, flavor, experience, right? So I might do something like this. This might be. Let's just go back and move this closer to our copy document. Do not. What I would really argue against is machine. How do you substantiate that? It raises a lot of questions. It's not ethically a problem, in my opinion. It's just more like, is it believable and is it even useful? But what I think is useful is going here and saying, okay, we have a really interesting hook with this here. So I might write something like this. Okay, so add copy. This is just how I set up my stuff. I just use frameworks. I just want to try to remember, to stay focused when, keep the copy focused when I'm writing it. Did you know that hand grinding your espresso beans can cost you the full flavor, aroma, and experience you enjoy, you love at your local coffee shop? So that's, what they want is they want that experience. We're making that assumption, right? And, and of course, you want the rich, full flavor of fresh espresso, just like at the coffee, or we could probably leave it here, espresso. So now, but your options are to either hand grind them or pay several thousand of dollars for one of those massive machines you see at Starbucks. Just use that as an example. The good news though, right now you can get all the full flavor and coffee shop experience you crave for less than $1,000. It's introducing, the Terra Cafe. Sorry, let me see if I can move this. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So we've got a little in the way. Cafe. I think it's called the TKO1 that automatically grinds your espresso beans for perfect flavor and aroma. Discover how simple this machine is, or this espresso maker is. Simply click the button below to learn more. This is how I write ads. Now, to give you an idea of how consistently you can get results doing this, and I'm going to write another version here so you have a couple ways of attacking this. And the other way is a really great method that Gary Halbert uses, and I think you guys it's really easy to adapt. But what we're doing here is we're hitting them with the problem. Like, God, my espresso just doesn't taste quite the way I want it to, and I really wish it was better. Blah blah blah. And then and of course, you reaffirm like you want this thing, right? You want this benefit. And then of course, well, here's your options. You can either grind it out and get arthritis, doing it by hand, or you can, buy this just behemoth of a machine. But yeah, there's another way to do it. And then you kind of introduce something new. Now, here's another way to do it. You know, and this is we'll call this ad copy Halbert because I cannot take credit for something that I didn't come up with. So we'll give, God rest his soul, the man credit. Is if you're looking for the most flavorful, aromatic espresso, fresh espresso, you can grind. This will be the most exciting thing you watch, and I'll break this down for you guys, so don't worry. So you can understand the mechanics here. And here's why. We just released a brand new espresso machine that easily fits on your kitchen counter while delivering the fullest, richest espresso flavor you can imagine, using the same beans you've used for years. Okay. Now, all without dropping a small fortune on one of those, espresso machines you see at your favorite coffee shop. Introducing the Terra Cafe TK01 for under. Now I do it. I know you guys saw it for like $875. I try to make that price anchoring wider. It's like $995, and they go in there and they see it's like, oh, it's actually even less than I thought. It's a nice surprise. It's a good surprise. I get all that coffee shop flavor, aroma, and experience right in the comfort of your own kitchen with, for a special offer. Whoops, not foffer. Click the button below to learn more. Now, I want to break this down, and I want to break down and recap the approach here. So, I love if-then statements, because what you're doing is you're kind of leading, to quote Dr. Flint McLaughlin, marketing is optimizing thought sequences. So, if someone comes across your ad, it's like, if you want this, here's, then if it's a video or if it's just a image, ad, then it's just, this will be the most exciting thing you read. But what I like about this is that these if-then statements are easy to write. They're easy to understand for people. And, you force yourself to give them a good reason why they should do something. Okay. And so if you write your ads this way, they're very simple. What you do is you just give them, you talk about the thing they want, explain why they're not getting it, transition to how they can get it, and then explain how easy it is for them to get it, and then just tell them to, do what you need them to do. What I want you to think about when you write ads. Now, if we go back to this ad right here, you hear this a lot, and unfortunately, it's in a lot of marketing agencies. It's like, oh, just keep it short. No, don't pay attention to that advice. Think of it this way. If you got someone's attention on an ad, which is hard to do, if you're doing 1% on Facebook, you're not doing terribly in terms of click-through rates. Then keep their attention. Explain in the ad, explain to them why it's so good. Now, you probably will not be able to take the transaction on the ad, but if you get them mentally thinking like, hey, I do really want this. Yeah, this sounds great. And they get there and there's no surprises in terms of any negative surprise, like, oh, it's way more expensive than I thought, or hey, it's like, this isn't what I thought it was. There's a good chance you're gonna get some serious buying intent, and serious buying intent means they'll add it to cart, they'll get able to check out, or ultimately, they'll bring it home and buy it. So when you write for cold traffic and you want to scale it, sell. It's okay to sell in your ad. Just understand that you are going to sell the click ultimately because they can't buy it there, but you can get them primed to buy it on the next page. Let me know if this is helpful. If you're on watch this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I bang these kinds of videos out every week. If you're on LinkedIn, just go ahead and follow my profile. And hey, drop a nice comment and let me know what you thought of this. And I will see you in the next video.